MTC artists, and welcome back to Art Outside the Classroom. My name is Jenna and I am your art instructor, and today we will be talking about the elements of art, color. In our previous lessons we've covered two other elements of design, and those were line and shape. We'll get to the rest later, but it's important for you to remember that the elements of design, or the elements of art, are the building blocks of what makes an art piece successful. A successful art piece is one that is visually engaging to the audience, to the person that's viewing the painting, and also gets the artist's message across. By knowing and using these principles of art, you essentially have a shortcut, a roadmap to creating a piece of art that works on all levels. One that is, remember, beautiful, visually engaging, and also conveys your meaning. So for today's lesson, we're going to be talking about color, how artists use color to get their points across. Now, color is one of my favorite subjects in art, but it's kind of intense, so I'm actually going to be breaking this video into multiple parts. Today we're just going to be talking about the basics, what a color wheel is, and also learning about warm and cool colors. So let me introduce you to our color wheel. You may have seen this in the art classroom, but the color wheel is a great tool for you to answer all the questions that you have about color. Like I said, we're going to start simple. So looking at the color wheel, I can see that I have all of my colors, besides black and white, arranged around a circle. Now let's take a little bit of a closer look. Let's say we divide our circle in half. On either side, we have a group of colors. This is where we're going to start talking about warm and cool colors. If you pay attention, our color wheel is organized again so that warm colors are going to be on one half of the color wheel and cool colors are on the other half. Now, how do you know if a color is warm or cool? Again, I said they're arranged in groups, but what I like to think of is temperature. Think about a hot, warm fire, a glowing fireplace, the Sahara Desert. What are the colors that you associate with those? I associate oranges and reds and yellows. The sun is bright and yellow and burning and orange. It has all sorts of these warm colors in them. And how about the opposite side? These greens and blues and even purples. I like to think about cool things. An ocean that's cool. The Arctic that is so cool and has those deep blues. You can also think about the landscape behind you. Things that remind you of the earth and plants that are cool to the touch. They do not have that fiery warmth. Those are cool colors. It's important to know the difference between warm and cool colors to really figure out what the artist is trying to convey in their art piece. For example, if you're trying to show passion, what you're going to want to do is show heat, show warmth, show fiery reds. That red dress is a symbol of passion. If you want to make a more subdued, calm atmosphere, you're going to want to use cool colors. They both represent different things, and you can make choices in your art to push those messages, to convey those messages to your audience. You can look at examples to see color in action. Our first example is this painting by Vincent Van Gogh. You've probably heard stories about Vincent Van Gogh. His life was notoriously troubled, and he didn't become famous for his art until after his death. You might remember a story of him actually cutting off his ear. Yikes. So take a look at the color that Vincent Van Gogh uses in this self-portrait. Are these warm or cool colors? We can also reference our color wheel. These are cool colors. If you look, it uses all of the colors from this cool half of the color wheel. Though yellow is kind of a warm color, he makes it look cool by adding greens and blues around it. Do you think this is a serious self-portrait, or a funny self-portrait, or a passionate self-portrait? What do you think Van Gogh's mood is in this painting? When I look at it, I see that he is very solemn. He is straight-faced, and he is looking directly at the person looking at his painting. He uses these cool colors to represent a kind of stillness. And these greens that are bouncing off of his face, that's not a really normal color. It probably signifies some kind of thing that's weird or off, or an eerie glow that's bouncing off of his skin. This is a strange self-portrait, and I do not think Van Gogh was in a particularly happy mood when he painted it. Though color means different things to different people, we can get a general sense of how an artist is operating based on the color choices that they use. Our next example is a painting by artist Georgia O'Keefe. Now this is actually a painting of a flower, but is rather abstract. Abstract means that you cannot directly see what the painting is trying to represent. Though it is a picture of a flower and the curves of the inside of the flower, it is kind of hard to tell. What else does this painting remind you of? Because Georgia O'Keefe uses bright, warm colors, this painting actually reminds me of a fire, with its flames bursting up. You can see that Georgia O'Keefe uses the other half of the color wheel. She uses all warm colors in this. And once again, while blue is not quite a warm color, it is so surrounded by all of these other warm colors that it kind of passes, right? This blue almost becomes like a heated blue, like the same way the inside of a fire, the hottest part becomes blue. This is a purposeful choice from Georgia O'Keefe, who actually lived out in the desert, so she encountered a lot of these warm colors. So that's it for today's lesson on color. We just briefly talked about color as an element of design, and also what a color wheel is, and how to determine if a color is warm or cool on our color wheel. In our next lesson, we will be talking more about how to read the color wheel, what the primary colors are, how to mix colors, and how to tell what color scheme an artist is using. I'll be excited to talk more with you later, but thank you for now for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye now.